So in the last lecture, we have started discussion on time series analysis. Okay. So what is meant by time series analysis? The data is provided in a chronological order. That is nothing but in a serial of a pattern, that is year wise. And on that basis, we have to forecast the, or we have to determine the trend of a business, whether it is a growing business or whether it is declining business. So that is nothing but we will get that idea by considering the trend of business or trend of forecasting demand. Okay. So trend, also we have discussed, the trend is nothing but us the past data. Okay. For more than 10 years or more than 10 months, one can say that. So what is the trend for that particular period? We'll come to know if you consider the time series for the large number of periods. Okay, for large number of periods. So in that case, we will get the trend. What is it mean by trend? On a larger time frame, the business is growing or the business is declining. Okay. So if the business is growing, then we will get the positive trend. Okay. When the business is growing, then in that case, we have discussed that. If the business is increasing year wise, then we will get a positive line or the uptrend line. Okay. This is also called as a uptrend line also. Okay. And when the business is declining, that is year on year, the sell demand or the forecasting demand is decreasing. In that case, we can say that the downtrend, the business is having the downtrend. Okay. So that idea we will get from the time series analysis. Okay. First of all, we will get the trend. Okay. Trend. So trend will get on a large time frame. Okay. Why it is called a secular trend? Secular trend because it is not a bias one. It will show, this line will show the positive trend or the negative trend. If it is declining, negative trend. So it is called a secular trend. Okay. Out of two situations, one will happen with the trend of a, or one will happen with the business of that particular company. Okay. So it is a secular trend. And next, we have also discussed about the cyclic fluctuation. Okay. So as on a larger time frame, we get that the trend is secular one and it is a growing one. Okay. The trend is secular one and it is growing on a large time frame. But if you divide that larger time frame into a small time frame, so in that small time frame, we will come to know that it is not actually a straight line. Okay. It is not actually a straight line on a small time frame. It is continuously fluctuating. It is continuously fluctuating. Some days or for some period, it is above the trend line, and some period or for some years, it is below the trend line. Okay. It is below the trend line. Okay. And that is nothing but what? The cyclic fluctuation. And when we are going to consider the smaller time frame for the data interpretation, in that case, we will come to know the actual demand for the smaller time frame. Okay. So that is nothing but a cyclic fluctuation, and that should be used for the forecasting purpose. Okay. That should be used for the forecasting purpose, because in that case, the forecasting will be more accurate. The forecasting will be more accurate. Okay. So that we have to consider the cyclic fluctuation also. Now, the third point is also we have discussed the seasonal variation. I have given some of the examples that during the Diwali season, during the Dussehra season, what is happening during the winter season, the air conditioning demand, about the air conditioning demand, what is happening, and during the summer season, the air conditioning demand, what is happening. Okay. Now, initially we have discussed the trend. Okay. Trend is positive, no issue. the cyclic fluctuation is also there for a smaller time frame, but these are in between fluctuation on that particular cyclic fluctuation. You can see that. So these fluctuations are happening on a seasonal basis, okay? During the festival, during the environmental or climatic condition. On that basis, these fluctuations are happening for the demand of a particular product, okay, in a cyclic fluctuation. So this fluctuation which is happening on the basis of a season, or on the basis of a climatic condition, or on the basis of a festival seasons, that fluctuations are called as a seasonal variation, okay? That fluctuations are called as a seasonal variation. And the last point, or the last variation we have discussed, the irregular variation. So irregular variations are nothing but which are not predicted, or about that event who, or the person cannot think or not thought about that particular event. It will happen in the market, and the effect of that event will happen on our production or on the forecasting, on our forecasting. So such a events will affect on a demand or a forecasting, okay? So the effect of such a events will be considered as the irregular fluctuation, okay, or irregular variation. Now this is happening in this manner, okay? Seasonal variations are there and cyclic fluctuation is there, but suddenly at this particular point you can see that suddenly there is a sudden jump in the demand of a particular product. So it is an irregular variation. This is the irregular variation, okay? So this also considered for the further forecasting. This also should be considered for the further forecasting. And combinedly, if you see the 4 different diagrams, okay? So this is the large frame diagram where we will see the secular trend only. If you divide the data in a small time frames, then we will get this seasonal variation. And in that seasonal variation, if you divide that data on the basis of a months and seasons, we will get the seasonal variation, okay? Seasonal variation over here. And the last one is the irregular variation, which is happen due to irregular behavior of a market, or a sudden growth of a product demand in the market, or sudden demand loss of that particular product in the market, okay? So combinedly on the large frame we will see this trend, okay? But on a small somewhat small time frame we will see the cyclic fluctuation. Somewhat small time frame we will see this seasonal fluctuation, and also the irregular fluctuation, okay? On, or also irregular fluctuation. Getting everyone this time series analysis? Is there any doubt, any question? I hope you have written the time series analysis initial points. It is right? Up to what point you have completed the write-up part? Please let me know. Have you written time series analysis this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Slide is over.
Now it is about the trend, right?
Yes.
So write down the time series analysis consists of 4 components. The time series analysis consists of 4 components. The time series analysis consists of the 4 components. Okay. So in the last lecture, while representing, I had given the time on a y-axis. Okay, sorry, it's my mistake. Here, the demand should be on a y-axis and the time should be on a x-axis, because the demand is the function of a time. Okay, demand is the function of a time. Okay, and in this manner we will get the seasonal. In this manner we will get the uptrend or a positive trend. Okay, positive. And in a similar fashion, if you get this line, then negative trend. Negative trend. Okay. So write down the trend. So here also demand on y-axis, because demand is a function of a time. Okay. So write down trend. The long period tendency of data, the long period tendency of the data to increase or decrease, to increase or decrease, to increase or decrease, to increase or decrease is referred to as a secular trend. Is referred to as a secular trend. It is referred to as a secular trend. Full stop. Next point. It is the long run historical component. It is the long run historical component of the time series. It is the long run historical component of the time series which indicates overall growth or decline of a business, overall growth or decline of business, overall growth or decline of business over time. Over time. Okay, so you can draw this diagram. On y-axis, you can write y is a function of a x. Positive, you can show the positive trend. And on x-axis, you can give the time. Okay, also show the negative trend. What is meant by negative trend? By this diagram. Okay, the question is that how I come to know that in the last lecture, I made a mistake about showing the x-axis, what is on x-axis and what is on y-axis. Okay, so my one habit is that when I'm getting a free time, okay, at that time I try to watch my own videos. Okay, and through that videos I come to know that where I'm making the mistake and where is the chance for the improvement. Okay, so I think this is my good habit, and that efforts will pay off to me in the future. Okay, so in this manner, if you are thinking that something you are doing positive about your interviews, your preparation point of views, make sure that you are doing the revision of the same things and trying to determine your faults or your mistakes through that particular presentation, and try to improve on that particular front. Okay, so that is the positive habit or a good habit. So that will increase your potential and your confidence level also. Okay, so have you drawn this diagram? Okay. So the second point, cyclic fluctuations. Cyclic fluctuations. In bracket capital C. For the trend, you can write capital T. And for the cyclic fluctuation, you can write in the bracket capital C. In that first point, you can write cyclic fluctuations are the oscillating patterns. Cyclic cyclical fluctuations are the oscillating patterns of increase or decrease around the trend. Cyclic fluctuations are the oscillating patterns of increase or decrease around the trend. Second point, cyclical fluctuations account for some of the variance. Cyclical fluctuations accounts for some of the variance between the trend line and the data points. Third one, the magnitude, timing and pattern of cyclic fluctuations. The magnitude, timing and pattern of cyclic fluctuations vary so widely, and the awareness of the effect, the magnitude, timing and pattern of cyclic fluctuations vary so widely, and the awareness of the effect of cyclic variation should influence the forecaster. Draw the diagram and show the trend line, and around that trend line the cyclic fluctuation. Over. Shall I move ahead to the next point? The third one, seasonal variation. In bracket, capital S, seasonal variation, in bracket, capital S. In that you can write the first point. This seasonal variation occurs with some degree of regularity. This seasonal variation occurs with some degree of regularity in a span of 1 year. And annually repetitive. क्या होता है, एक साल में वो सीजन जब भी आता है तो वो कंडीशंस रिपीट हो जाती है. ओके, वो फोरकास्टिंग रिपीट हो जाता है, वो डिमांड रिपीट हो जाता है. सो साल में हम कह सकते हैं कि एक साल में एक इवेंट आ जाता है. ओके, रमजान साल में एक बार आता है, दिवाली साल में एक बार आता है. तो वो जब इवेंट आ जाएगा तो डिमांड के बारे में, फोरकास्टिंग के बारे में और सेल डिमांड के बारे में मार्केट में सेम चीज होती रहेगी. ओके, सो it will happen on a regular basis in 1 year. Okay, if you take the time frame of a 1 year, okay, so we can say that seasonal variation occurs with some degree of a regularity in a span of 1 year and annually repetitive. Second point, these variations are caused by climatic conditions. These variations are caused by climatic conditions, comma, social customs. Social custom means what? In Marathi it is called parampara. Okay, किंवा चालीरीती, parampara. Social customs, comma, festivals. Social customs, comma, festivals. Okay. Now, in this diagram, you can show the variation in a cyclic fluctuation. Okay, variation. Small variations you can see here. So that is a seasonal variation. Okay, first of all, you show the trend line, then in a zigzag pattern, small zigzags pattern, you can say you can draw the cyclic fluctuation. Okay, and the last one is irregular variations. Irregular variations in bracket capital R. In that you can write these occurs without any fixed pattern. This occurs without any fixed patterns. This occurs without any fixed pattern. This occurs without any fixed pattern. Second point, these are chance variations. These are chance variations that are not explained by trend, cyclic or seasonal variations. These are the chance variations that are not explained by trend, cyclic or seasonal variations. These may account for natural calamities. These account for natural calamities. Calamities म्हणजे natural calamities, नैसर्गिक आपत्ती. Okay, नैसर्गिक आपत्ती. Natural calamities like flood, drought, earthquake, etc. फ्लड म्हणजे पूर, ड्रफ्ट म्हणजे दुष्काळ, earthquake म्हणजे भूकंप, etc. Okay, you can draw this diagram. And you can add a pandemic situation also in that. So like this graph will happen for the which product in pandemic situation? So sudden growth. So do you have some example related to irregular variation for some of the products, sudden growth and sudden drop. Can you give the examples? In a pandemic situation, which product demands increased suddenly and which products demand becomes a zero? Can you give some examples? You can comment in the chat box also. Meanwhile, you can draw the diagram and you can comment in the chat box also, or you can switch on your mic. Okay. Mask. Okay, right. Okay, sudden demand, mask. Anything else? Sanitizer, right? Laptops is the sudden demand of laptops is also increased in a pandemic situation, right? Anything else? Sudden loss of a demand. Suddenly, demand of such a product lost in the market. Which are those products? Loss of a demand due to pandemic situation. No product. Do you know any product, or you don't have any idea about such a product? The demand lost. So many products are there. One is mostly affected on automobile sector. Okay, this pandemic situation mostly affected, hardly affected. We can say that hardly affected on automobile sector. Okay, sudden collapse of a demand. Okay, so next is 4 components. You need not to draw this. Now, how to forecast when you have the trend, then cyclical variation, seasonal variation, and irregular variation. So in that case, the forecasting demand, or one can forecast by using this formula. Y is equal to capital T, capital C, capital S, capital R. Okay, TCSR. Y is nothing but forecasted value. T is the secular demand. C is the cyclic variation. S is the seasonal variation. And R is the irregular fluctuations. Write down. The common used expression for a time series forecast is Y is equal to TC SR, where Y is equal to forecasted value. T is the secular trend. C is the cyclic variation. S is the seasonal variation. And R is the irregular fluctuations. Okay, over. Now the next point, that is nothing but how to calculate which are the types of methods, or which are the different methods in a time series model or this particular time series analysis. Okay, so once again, I have given this part, that is nothing but quantitative forecasting methods. Okay, and these methods are also called as a medium and short range forecasting. So for this quantitative forecasting, initially we have discussed about the subjective types of methods. Okay, Delphi method, market research method. Okay, these are the subjective type of a method, or a qualitative methods. Okay, in that the personal opinion matters a lot. Okay, in that particular case, we have to take the opinion of a customer, we have to take the opinion of an expert, we have to take the opinion of our distributor, and that on that opinion basis the forecasting will happen. Okay, if you forget about the Delphi method, all other methods are to be considered as a more biased method. In the Delphi method, only the biasness is reduced because of a panel of expert people. Okay, but there is largely depend upon a personal opinion or a experience of that particular person. That particular methods are mostly, if you forget about the Delphi method, other methods are mostly inaccurate methods. Okay, because we are not using any mathematical calculations or statistical calculations in a subjective kind of a method. Okay, subjective kind of a method. But in this quantitative forecasting method, we are using the mathematical models or the statistics of maths to formulate the demand forecasting for the future. Okay, so how this quantitative forecasting is classified? So firstly, the second point initially we have discussed, that is nothing but regression model. Okay, so regression analysis or a least square method that we have discussed initially. Okay, now we are discussing about the time series model. So in time series model, the first method is a moving average method. Okay, first method is a moving average method. Now this moving average method is also segregated into two types. One is a simple moving average method and second one is a weighted moving average method. And the B part is the exponential smoothing method. So these two methods we are going to discuss in the time series model. Okay, which two methods? Moving average method. In that moving average method, the parts are simple moving average and weighted moving average. These two models are there in moving average method, and the B part is there, or B type of a model of a time series is exponential smoothing. So in that exponential smoothing, the parts are labeled, trend, and seasonality. Okay, that we are going to discuss when we are going to discuss the exponential smoothing. But in this lecture, we are going to understand what is meant by moving average method. Okay, what is meant by moving average method and what is the difference between simple moving average and weighted moving average. If time is available, then we will go for the problems on these two particular points. Okay, so what is meant by average? Okay, and what is meant by moving average? That is also important. Average is nothing but addition of the quantities, total number of quantities, and divided by total number. Okay, so let us say I'm having the numbers. Okay, like I will discuss it. 10, 20, 30. How we are going to calculate the average of these three numbers? Okay, so average of these three numbers will be 10 plus 20 plus 30, right? 10 plus 20 plus 30. Okay, consider this is 30 divided by 3, right? This is nothing but what? Average. Okay, we have add up all the values and we have divided by that values by the total number of values. Okay, we add up, okay, all the values, 3 values are there. We have added up all 3 values and whole divided by the total number of values. How many values are there? 3 values are there. So that is nothing but an average. Okay, that is nothing but an average. Okay, getting my point? What is meant by average? So if there are 10 values, we have to add the 10 values and we have to divide by 10 to that particular addition. Okay, so that will provide you average of that particular values. Okay, so in case of a moving average, okay, it is a dynamic term. Okay, dynamic term. So what we are doing, by doing the average only. We are adding up and we are taking the sum and we are dividing with the number of values included in that particular addition. Okay, but in a moving average case, we are not going to add up the previous numbers. Okay, previous data. We are removing the previous data for the next averaging purpose. Okay, let us say the demands are considered as a D1, okay, comma D2, comma D3, comma D4. Okay, in this manner demands are there. Now if you want to take the moving average with the weight of a 3 means what? With the weight of a 3 means what? You have to add, we have to perform the averaging. 1 minute. Let's go. Okay. Now you have to perform the averaging with the sum of 3 numbers. Okay, with the sum of 3 numbers. So in that case, you first of all, you are doing the addition of first 3 numbers. Okay, that is nothing but D1 plus D2 plus D3, and then you are taking the average of that 3 numbers. Now, for doing the next 3 number addition, okay, you will forget about the D1. Okay, you will forget about the D1 and you will perform the addition of D2, D3, D4, and you are going to take the average of next 3 numbers. Okay, you are taking the average of next 3 numbers. So in that case, the effect of D1 for the next averaging, the effect of D1 will be obsoleted for the next averaging, for the next averaging. So that is nothing but what? In similar fashion, while doing the forecasting, we are taking the average of 3 numbers or 3 values. Then in that case, we are eliminating the previous data and we are taking the averaging of next 3 numbers data. Okay, next 3 numbers data. Then afterward, eliminating the previous last one quantity and we are taking the next 3 number data. So in this manner, we are going to solve the problem. Okay, in this manner, we are going to solve the problem so that it is called as a moving average. Okay, so that it is called as a moving average. Getting my point? काय होतंय? समजा एक 10 व्हॅल्यू दिलेले आहेत आणि त्याला आपल्याला प्रत्येक 3 व्हॅल्यूचा ऍव्हरेज काढत जायचं आहे. ओके, प्रत्येक 3 व्हॅल्यूचा ऍव्हरेज काढत जायचं आहे. तर मी पहिल्यांदा 1 2 3 ह्या 3 व्हॅल्यूचा ऍव्हरेज घेणार आहे. ठीक आहे. परत नंतर दुसरा ऍव्हरेज मला घेत असताना मी काय करणार आहे, 1 नंबरची जी व्हॅल्यू आहे त्याला एलिमिनेट करणार आहे माझ्या ऍव्हरेजिंग घेताना. मग माझं नेक्स्ट ऍव्हरेजिंग काय असणार आहे, 2 3 आणि 4 नंबरची व्हॅल्यू. ओके, आणि परत तिसरा ऍव्हरेज घेताना मी काय करणार आहे, 2 नंबरची व्हॅल्यू एलिमिनेट. 1 नंबर तर दुसऱ्या ऍव्हरेजिंग मध्येच आपण एलिमिनेट केलेला आहे. 2 नंबर आपण तिसऱ्या ऍव्हरेजिंग मध्ये एलिमिनेट करणार आहे आणि त्यावेळेस आपण ऍव्हरेजिंग घेताना 3 नंबरची व्हॅल्यू, 4 नंबरची व्हॅल्यू आणि 5 नंबरची व्हॅल्यू आपण ऍव्हरेजिंग घेणार आहे. Okay, so that is nothing but what? We are eliminating the previous data and we are reducing the effect of that particular data on a further upcoming forecasting. So this is called as a moving average forecasting. Getting my point? So simple moving average. The past data of a company can have fluctuations because of a seasonal variation and random variations. Okay, that we have discussed. Then in a simple averaging of a demand for a previous period is going to hide the trend and it is meaningless since the trend is an important factor. When we are doing the averaging of all the values, in that case, we are hiding the trend, actual trend. Okay, actual trend will get hide. The actual effect of a market situation on a data, okay, that will reflect it through the data. And if you are hiding that data while doing the averaging, while doing the simple averaging, then the actual trend will be lost due to the averaging of a complete data. Okay, averaging of a complete data. So here the moving average consists of a series of arithmetic mean calculated. Okay, in a series of arithmetic means are calculated in a moving average from overlapping groups of a successive elements of a time series. Moving average is a simple statistic method to extrapolate and establish a trend of a past data. ओके क्या समझ में आता है यहाँ से आपको? पहले तो जो सिंपल मूविंग एवरेज होता है वो क्या करता है? एक्चुअल ट्रेंड को हाइड करता है. ओके, यू विल गेट द फोरकास्टिंग बट दैट विल नॉट बी so much accurate and it will impact on your production line also, that sometime you will produce the more goods and that much demand will not be there in the market. If sometime you will produce the less goods but the demand of a product in the market. So these problems will happen if you not predict the trend as actually in the market. Okay, these problems will happen when you will not predict the trend as actually in the market. And when we are doing the simple moving average of all the data, at that time we are hiding actual trend. Okay, we are hiding actual trend and we are creating the hypothetical trend for the forecasting. So that will impact on the demand forecasting. Okay, if when we are taking the average of a 10 number and for some values we are getting the less sale and for some value we are getting the large sale. So that less sale data will get hide in the large number of a period. Okay, in the large number of a period. So 1 minute. So that should not be happen while doing the forecasting. That should not be happen while dealing with the forecasting. So effect of the irregularity and the seasonality should be impacted on a forecasting. Okay, seasonality, then cyclic fluctuation and irregularities. So this effect should be impacted on a further forecasting also. Okay, so that is the more important point. So for that reason, we are doing the dynamic averaging. Dynamic averaging means what? We are reducing or we are eliminating the previous data from the average and we are taking the next data in the averages. So the recent data effect or a recent period effect will be more for the forecasting. Okay, on a forecasting demand. Okay, समजा मला 1 वर्षाची 12 महिन्याचा डाटा मिळालेला आहे. ओके, आणि मी 12 महिन्याचा ऍव्हरेज आउट करून मी जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग करतोय, पुढच्या वर्षीच्या जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग करतोय. तर त्या केसमध्ये मला तेवढा ऍक्युरेट फोरकास्टिंग मिळेल का? का ह्याच्या उलट जर मी जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग करणार आहे तर त्या केसमध्ये मी डिसेंबरचं, नोव्हेंबरचं आणि ऑक्टोबर महिन्याचं ऍव्हरेजिंग घेऊन मी जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग केलं तर कोणत्या केसमध्ये मला जास्त ऍक्युरेसी मिळेल फोरकास्टिंग मध्ये? ओके, 12 महिन्याचं एकत्र ऍडिशन करून मी जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग करतोय तर त्या केसमध्ये मला चांगली ऍक्युरेसी मिळेल का मी रिसेंट 3 महिन्याचं म्हणजे डिसेंबर, नोव्हेंबर आणि ऑक्टोबर ह्या 3 महिन्याचं डिमांड किंवा सेल जो झालेला आहे मार्केटमध्ये ऍक्च्युअल मध्ये तर तो घेऊन मी जानेवारीचं फोरकास्टिंग केलं तर कोणत्या केस मध्ये मला जास्त ऍक्युरेसी मिळेल? ओके, लेट मी नो व्हॉट इज युअर आन्सर. कोणत्या केस मध्ये मला जास्त ऍक्युरेसी मिळेल? इन विच केस आय विल गेट मॅक्झिमम ऍक्युरेसी अबाउट द फोरकास्टिंग फॉर द नेक्स्ट मंथ? Tell me, you can answer by switching on your mic. Or you can put up in chat box, no problem. Second case, okay, Madan Patil is saying second case, right? Because we are taking the effect of a recent periods. Okay, we are taking the effect of a recent periods, and recent period effect will be more dominating than second case. Okay, Yasar is also saying second case. So recent period effect will be more dominating over the old period data effect. Okay, so that we should prefer for the recent period effect on more rely on a recent period effect on a next forecasting. So in that case, this moving average will help you to predict or to forecast the demand of a next period on the basis of a dynamic averaging or a moving averaging. Okay, on the basis of a dynamic averaging or a moving averaging. So how to perform this dynamic averaging or a moving averaging? Okay. Okay, moving average. This method is used to pass data and calculate the rolling average for the constant periods. Okay. At each period, fresh average is computed at the end of each period by adding the demand of a most recent period and deleting the data of the older period. Since the data is changes from period to period, it is called moving average method. Just I have explained you how we are deleting the previous data while taking the next average. Okay, and that will impacted on, or the effect of that data will be impacted on a next forecasting. Okay, next forecasting, that is nothing but a moving average. Okay, so what is meant by simple moving average? So simple moving average that I have shown you, we are adding the data or the demand and we are dividing the number of data we have selected. Okay, that is nothing but a moving average. So let us say we have selected the 3-month data and we have added up that 3-month data, and then we have to divide by 3 to calculate the moving average. Now take the example that for the time series, consider D1, D2, D3 and up to D suffix n. We have a number of periods or we have a data, okay, from D1 to D suffix n. And for the different period, let us say we have data of 1991 year, we have a data of a 1992 year, we have a data of a 1993 year, up to 2000. Okay, let us say, and in that case, your first moving average will be nothing but 1 upon n. Okay, 1 upon n. So let us say you are taking the 5-month moving average. Okay, you are taking the 5-month moving average, or you are taking the n-month moving average. So you will start with 1 upon n. Okay, that is nothing but if 5-month moving average, then 1 by 5, and inside multiply by inside the bracket average of 5 quantities. Okay, so that will be your first value. Okay, what will be your second value? In a second value, you are eliminating the initial or the oldest value from the averaging. Okay, you are eliminating the oldest value from the averaging, and you will start from D2. Okay, you will start from D2, and then you are taking the averaging, and that will be the value for the next month. Okay, that will be the value for the next month. Okay, now period n of a moving average should be carefully selected. A 3-month moving average has a weightage of 1/3. Okay, weightage म्हणजे काय, आपण कशाने डिवाइड करतोय. सो 3 ने डिवाइड केला आपण तर 1/3 वेटेज प्रत्येक क्वांटिटीला जातं आपलं. ओके, 3 महिन्याच्या क्वांटिटीला जातं, इक्वल वेटेज जातं. जर 5 मंथचा पिरियड आपण सिलेक्ट केला मूव्हिंग ऍव्हरेज साठी, तर 1/5 ने आपल्याला डिवाइड करावं लागेल, आणि 1/5 वेटेज हे प्रत्येक क्वांटिटीला जाणार आहे तुमचं. ओके, 1/5 वेटेज तुम्हाला प्रत्येक क्वांटिटीला किंवा प्रत्येक पिरियडला द्यावं लागणार आहे. ओके, नाउ हाऊ टू सिलेक्ट the n value or a number of periods selected for weightaging. Okay, so that will be selected depends upon a pattern or a demand changes in the market. Okay, if the demand is changing quarterly in the market, then 1/3 weightage is the most common weightage, and if the demand is changing on a half yearly basis. So in that case, 1/5 weightage is commonly used in that cases. Okay, so it will depend upon a speed at which pattern or demand changes. So if the pattern is more stable, okay, more stable, okay, and in that case we will go for the higher value of n. Okay, in that case we will select a large number of a period. Okay, and if the pattern is not that much stable, in that case we should select the smaller value of n. Okay, if the pattern is not stable or demand is fluctuating on a continuous basis, so in that case the value of n should be lower one. Okay, the value of n should be lower one. So here we should prefer the two values of n, that is nothing but 3 and 5. Okay, 3 and 5 mostly preferred values are 3 and 5. Okay, if the stable demand, then we can go for 5 value of n, and if highly unstable demand, then we will go for the 3 value of n. Okay, so in that case the weightage for each value will be provided as 1/3 weightage or 1/5 weightage. Okay, 1/5 weightage. Weightage means what? How much that particular value will be impacted for the forecasting of a next month, okay, or a next year. Okay, किती इम्पॅक्ट एखाद्या व्हॅल्यूचा पुढच्या महिन्याच्या किंवा पुढच्या वर्षीच्या फोरकास्टिंग वर तुम्ही घेणार आहे. ओके, कितना इफेक्ट आप उस वैल्यू का नेक्स्ट ईयर की प्रिडिक्शन और फोरकास्टिंग और नहीं तो नेक्स्ट मंथ की फोरकास्टिंग पर लेना चाहते हो. सो दैट इज नथिंग बट वेटेज. दैट इज नथिंग बट वेटेज. ओके, वेटेज कितना लेना चाहते हो. सो 1/3 वेटेज लेना चाहते हो ईच वैल्यू का, तो 1/3 से डिवाइड कीजिएगा. 1/5 वेटेज लेना चाहते हो आप, तो 1/5 से डिवाइड लेने का. जब ये वेटेज कांस्टेंट रहेगा हर एक वैल्यू के लिए, like I'm saying 1/3 weightage or 1/5 weightage, then that moving average is called as a simple moving average. जब ये weightage कांस्टेंट रहेगा हर वैल्यू के लिए, तब उस मूविंग एवरेज को आप सिंपल मूविंग एवरेज बोल सकते हो. जब ये वेटेज ईच वैल्यू को वैरी होगा, जब ये वेटेज डिफरेंट वैल्यूज को डिफरेंट रहेगा, तब हम उस कैलकुलेशन को वेटेड मूविंग एवरेज बोल सकते हैं. ओके, you will come to know after solving the problems how the simple moving average is different from the weighted moving average. So initially you remember that if the weightage is constant for each value, okay, like 1/3, 1/5, it's constant for each value, then in that case that moving average is called as a simple moving average. And if the weightage is different for each value, okay, for one value it is 1/3, for one value is 1/2, for one value is 1/3. Okay, so that is different weightage we are providing according to the period. Let us say we want to provide the more weightage for the recent period. Okay, for the recent current period. Now we are in a January or we are in a December, and for December data we want to provide the more weightage for the January forecasting. So I have provided 1/2 weightage for the recent data. Next period data, that is nothing but November data. So I want to provide somewhat less weightage than the December data. Then I will take consider the 1/3 and weightage for the November data, and for the October data I want to provide the remaining weightage, whatever the remaining weightage is there, 1/6 or 1/7. So that weightage will be provided the older data. So that is nothing but what? According to the databases, or on the basis of recentness, or for the recent data you want to provide the more weightage, and for the older data you want to provide the lesser weightage. So on that basis if you do the calculation of a moving average, then that calculations or that methodology is considered to be a weighted moving average. That methodology should be considered as a weighted moving average. Now, while calculating, okay, yes, we have calculated simple moving average, and where to locate that simple moving average? Let us say we have done the calculation of a moving average of a 3 quantities or a 3 periods. Then that average we have to locate at this in front of a central period. Okay, in front of a central period. So let us say if you done the moving average of a 3 quantity, so central period will be considered as a second number period. So we have to locate that simple moving average in front of a second period. Okay, in front of a second period. दुसऱ्या period पुढे calculation पुन्हा पुढे मांडायची ह्याबद्दल चाललेला आहे. That is nothing but centering of a moving average. Okay, ज्यावेळेस आपण moving average घेऊ, ते moving average सेकंड जर ते 3 नंबरचं असेल, 3 व्हॅल्यूचं मूव्हिंग ऍव्हरेज असेल, तर ते सेकंड नंबरच्या पिरियड समोर मांडायचं. ओके, जर ते ऍव्हरेजिंग 5 नंबर पिरियडचं असेल किंवा 5 व्हॅल्यूजचं असेल, 5 पिरियडचं असेल, तर ते ऍव्हरेजिंग 3 नंबरच्या पिरियड समोर मांडायचं. इफ वी आर टेकिंग द ऍव्हरेजिंग ऑफ 3 periods, then that averaging should be located in front of a second number period. If you are taking the average of a 5 number of periods, then that averaging should be located in front of a third number period. Okay, in general, if n months moving average you are taking, then it should be located in front of a n plus 1 divided by 2. Then that should be located in front of a n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay. Okay. Now we have just given the example of what is meant by weighted moving average. So in simple moving average, the weightage is equally given for 3 months. Okay. Let us say 1/3 weightage we are giving for 3-month simple moving average. Okay. So, but in organization want to attach more weightage to the 3rd month and least to the 1st month. Let us say 1999 year is there, 2000 year is there, and 2001 is there, year is there, and you want to forecast for 2002 year. Okay, so the first month, I'm saying the first month, that is nothing but the 1999 year is there, and the second month is 2000, and the first year is 1999, the second year is 2000, and third year is 2001. So for the first month, the least weightage is provided. Okay, that is the older data we are having, and the recent data we want to provide the more weightage. Okay, some organization want in this manner. Okay, so in that case, the sum of this weightage should be equal to 1. What is the requirement? Weightage should be equal to 1. That is the most important thing. Okay, so if you are doing providing the equal weightage to each period, that is nothing but 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay, so in that case, addition of all the weightage is equal to 1. Okay, 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, it is equal to 3/3, it is equal to 1. Okay, and when you want to give the weighted moving average, okay, or you want to give a different weightage for the different data, so you can provide that, organization can provide that, but that addition of each weight should be equal to 1. That is the only important criteria for the weighted moving average. Okay, addition एकच झाली पाहिजे त्या तिन्ही वेटेजची. Okay, हा एकच सिंपल मूव्हिंग weighted moving average चा criteria आहे. Okay. Okay, now I think this is the overdose for you. We will run the lecture up to 11:30 as and afterward we will provide the half an hour break as there is one session of a fuel test session at 12 noon today, so that I will extend this lecture by half an hour. So we are going to continue for the next half hour. Okay, so write down quantitative forecasting method. Quantitative forecasting method. Let me know if you have any doubt, any question about the simple moving average and weighted moving average. If it is not clear to you, please ask. I am ready to explain it once again. No issue. Okay. You can ask, or you can comment in the chat box. If you understood, you can comment in the chat box. Yes, I am understood, because that will provide me the confidence that whatever I'm teaching, that is understood by student, and I can easily move ahead for the next points or the problems on the basis of a moving average. Okay, so comment in the chat box if you have any doubt, or if you don't have any doubt, then comment in the chat with everything we have understood. Okay, that's it. Okay, meanwhile you can write quantitative forecasting methods. Okay, quantitative forecasting methods. So this forecasting will be considered as a medium and short run or short range forecast. Medium and short range forecast. Medium and short range forecast. Medium and short range forecast. ऑटोमोबाईल लेक्चरची लिंक कोण आहे ऑटोमोबाईलला आपल्याला?
यशवी जाधव सर.
यशवी जाधव सर आहे. ओके ओके, 1 minute. Okay, so have you written? Have you written the things?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we will move ahead for the next point. Moving average forecasting. Write down the moving average in bracket MA, capital MA forecasting. Moving average in bracket capital MA bracket complete forecasting. In that, write down the first point, the past data of a company, the past data of a company, the past data of a company, the past data of a company can have fluctuations, fluctuations because of seasonal variation, and random variation. Random is irregular variations and random variations. Full stop. Second point, simple averaging of demand, simple averaging of demand for a previous period, is going to hide the trend and it is meaningless, and it is meaningless. It is meaningless since trend is an important factor. Trend is an important factor. Trend is an important factor. Next point, the moving average in bracket capital M, capital A, the moving average MA consists of series of arithmetic means, calculated from overlapping groups of successive elements of time series. Successive elements of time series. Full stop. Moving average is simple statistical method. Moving average is simple statistical method to extrapolate and establish trend of past data Okay. Over. Next, write down. You can write moving average or simple moving average. Okay. You can give the heading as if there is given moving average only, then it means simple moving average. Okay. And if they want to ask a weighted moving average, in that case, they will write weighted moving average. Okay. So moving average considered to be a simple moving average. Okay. Moving average in bracket capital M A bracket complete forecasting. Moving average MA forecasting. This method uses a past data. This method uses a past data and calculate rolling average for constant period. At each period, comma, fresh average is computed at each period, comma, fresh average is computed at each period, comma, fresh average is computed at the end of each period, by adding the demand of the most recent period, and deleting the data of the old period, since data is changes from period to period, comma, it is called moving average method. Full stop. It is called moving average method. Full stop. Next point, take down. A simple moving average is calculated. A simple moving average is calculated. A simple moving average is calculated. Simple moving average is calculated a simple moving average is calculated as follows. Simple moving average is calculated as follows. Capital MA, that is moving average, is equal to sum of demands for periods, 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 whole divided by chosen number of periods, whole divided by chosen number of periods, whole divided by chosen number of periods. Okay, take the example. For example, for the time series of values, time series of values d1 comma d2 comma d3 comma up to dn comma dn plus 1. Okay, so mathematically I'm not because I'm taking removing the initial number d1, and then if I take up to d suffix n, then it will be 1 divided by n minus 1. So that will not be the correct one. So I have taken d suffix n whole divided by comma dn plus 1 also. Okay, so that will be, if you remove the 1 from the series, then also you are taking the average of you are taking the average of n numbers only. Okay, initially you are taking the average up to dn, okay, for the first value, and for the second moving average you are removing the d1, okay, and you are taking the average of a numbers up to dn plus 1. So the total number will equal to n only. Okay, the total number equal to n only. So that I'm doing this. So example, for the time series of values d1 comma d2 comma d3 up to d suffix n comma dn plus 1 for different periods, comma the moving average n periods, the moving average for n periods. Okay, the moving average for n periods. Okay, here I will give the moving average for n periods is given by okay, the first value of a moving average, is equal to 1 divided by n in bracket d1 plus d2 plus d3 up to d suffix n. 1 divided by n in bracket d1 plus d2 plus d3 up to d suffix n. And the second value of a moving average, in second value we are removing the d1, oldest data we are removing, and we are taking the next data. Okay, we are taking the next data. So the total number of data are equal to n. Okay, and we are providing the constant weightage, that is 1 divided by n to each value. Okay, 1 divided by n to each value in simple moving average. Okay, so second value of a moving average will be equal to 1 divided by n in bracket d2 plus d3 plus d4 up to dn plus 1. Up to dn plus 1. Getting? Is there any doubt, any question? Next, you can write period n of a moving average. Period n of a moving average. Period n of a moving average should be carefully selected. Period n of a moving average should be carefully selected. Should be carefully selected. Next point, a 3-month moving average has a weightage of 1/3. A 3-month EMA has a weightage of 1/3. A 3-month moving average has a weightage of 1/3. Three-month moving average has a weightage of 1/3, and 5-month moving average has a weightage of 1/5. 1/5. For each period, 1/5 weightage will be there. 5-month moving average has a weightage of 1/5. Next, the value of n depends upon the speed at which the pattern of demand changes. The value of n depends upon the speed at which the pattern of demand changes. Okay. Next point, if the demand pattern is stable, the demand pattern is stable, a high value of n is selected. If the demand pattern is stable, a high value of n is selected. And next, full stop. The demand pattern is stable, a high value of n is selected, full stop. And if the pattern is not stable, a small value of n should be selected. Okay. If the pattern is not stable, a small value of n should be selected. Over. Now the next point is centering of moving average. Centering of the moving average. Centering means where to locate that data in the table. Okay. For which period we have to provide that moving average. Okay. So that is nothing but centering of the moving average. So in that, write down a 3-period moving average. A 3-period moving average is located. 3-period moving average is located. 3-period moving average is located against the second period. Is located against the second period. Next, a 5-period moving average. A 5-period moving average is located against third month. In general formula, we can say that for the location of moving average as in general, comma, n month moving average is located. In general, n month moving average is located against n plus 1 oblique or divided by 2. N plus 1 in bracket n plus 1 whole divided by 2. Okay. If we consider 3, okay, for the calculation purpose by using this formula, n plus 1 divided by 2. 3 periods we have selected. Then 3 plus 1, 4. 4 divided by 2, we will get 2. Okay, that is this valid, this particular first point. If you select the 5-month moving average, then 5 plus 1 divided by 2. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 divided by 2, 3. So this second statement is also validated by this particular formula. Okay, so we should remember this formula, n plus 1 divided by 2. Or at the middle point or at the middle period, we have to locate the data of a moving average. Okay. Then next point, weighted moving average. Weighted moving average. WMA. Weighted moving average. Weighted moving average. In that you can write weighted moving average. In that you can write in simple MA, in simple moving average, equal weightage is given. Equal weightage is given. In simple moving average, comma, equal weightage is given to first month, second month, and third month in a 3-month moving average. Okay, in a simple moving average, comma, equal weightage is given to first month, second month, and third month, in a 3-month moving average. In a 3-month moving average. Okay, in a 3-month moving average. Next point, but the organization want to attach. But the organization want to attach more weightage to third month, and least to first month, Condition is only one, that addition of all the weights should be equal to 1. Addition of all the weights should be equal to 1. The sum of these weights, next point, the sum of these weights should be equal to 1. Should be equal to 1. Example 0.5 weightage is provided to third, 0.5 to third, comma 0.3 to second, and 0.2 to first. Okay, third month or third period, second month or second period, first month or first period. So 0.5 to third, 0.3 to second, and 0.2 to first. Okay. Is there any doubt, any question? Okay. So we'll take the problem on today only. We will take the problem today only. In the last lecture, if you will get that lecture, we'll take the problem on simple moving average and weighted moving average. No issue. Well, when we will discuss about the problem, we'll come to know that how simple it is. But theory part is also that much important. Okay, so that I want to discuss the theory part in detail with you, so that you will not forget the theory also, why we are doing the simple moving average, why we are doing the weighted moving average, and how to perform, what is the theory behind that. That is also an important part. But the calculation part is very much simple. When you are going to solve these problems, the data, the statement is large one, but the solution is 2-line solution only. Okay, or 1 table solution only. Okay, so we'll stop for the today for this lecture. Okay, at 12 noon, you are having one session arranged by Fuel. Okay, the information will be discriminated in your WhatsApp group link and all that things, and also on your email. Okay, so this half-hour break is provided to you at 12 p.m. or 12 noon. You can join that session. Okay, you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave this meeting. Okay.